No.
Hello.
And welcome to another Amy Reed's Home Cooking. What we're going to do today is show you how to make a red wine sauce or a red wine reduction. And this is a very strong sauce to go with this nice piece of meat that we're going to make into steaks. But first of all, here are your ingredients. Mirepoix, here. We have our herbs, in this case it's a bay leaf and some rosemary. A bottle of strong red wine, this is a Cabernet Sauvignon. You don't need to use a ridiculously expensive wine, but you do need to use a good wine. If you wouldn't drink it, don't make a sauce with it. When we have a veal demi-glace, which is like a veal stock. If you can't get this from your local supermarket, Marco Pierre White likes to use these things, which are beef stock pots. You could use one of those as well. You just want some sort of beefy flavour into your sauce. First of all, our pan has been on the heat now for quite some time, so it's hot. And I'm going to put the mirepoix straight into the pan without any oil. This is the one time in life when you do want things to stick to the bottom of the pan. You don't want them to burn, you want them to brown. So here we go. That's our mirepoix in there. You can hear it sizzling. To keep that moving about. We don't want it to burn on the bottom. We just want it to stick a little bit. You can see now it's just starting to brown on the bottom of the pan. And that's where we're getting our browning coming in. You can smell it now, it's delicious. When we have that stage, what we want now is some red wine. So we're going to reduce this red wine right down. So don't be shy with it, you need it to sizzle.
That smells good.
And all that sizzling will get the brown bits off the bottom of the pan, or the fonds, as chefs like to call them. The brown bits are where all the flavour lies. So this is going to be quite a powerful sauce. There's a lot of mirepoix in there, and there's going to be a lot of red wine. My God, I hear you say that's a full bottle. It is indeed. We're going to be making quite a lot of red wine reduction sauce because there's 4 steaks quite comfortably in there. 4 nice big steaks.
It's only for me.
No, that's only for you. Okay.
Yeah. Where's your?
Where's mine? So that's it. Now we bring that to the boil and we put it on the back ring on a lower heat and just let it reduce and reduce and reduce. And when it's finished reducing, we'll come back to you and show you the next step. Now that's coming to the boil nicely. It's going to reduce. I want it to reduce with my herbs in. So there is some rosemary and a bay leaf going in to that reduction. And that will reduce right down to a syrup, or almost a syrup. So just so it sticks to the back of the spoon and coats the spoon. So it's just not a runny sauce, but not a thick sauce, just nice for going onto a steak. And that's what we should be looking at now, just a nicely bubbling pot. And you let that reduce to at least 2/3 of its original volume. 1/3 of its original volume. You need to reduce it by 2/3, so you have a nice syrupy sauce in the bottom. Right, what I've got here is some veal demi-glace or veal stock. So whilst my red wine is still reducing, that's been reducing for about 15-20 minutes now. I'm going to reduce some of this veal demi-glace or veal stock just speed things up a bit. As you can see, it's like a jelly. That means it's a nice consistency. And this, when reduced, is going to give a delicious flavour. I'm using a bought supermarket one because it would take about 3 days to make a good veal stock. So I don't have 3 days, so I'm using a store-bought supermarket, good quality though, Fresh Express, homemade veal stock, and that's going to be the veal stock that we're using. Just get the heat up underneath it. To get it to boil more quickly, we'll put a lid on, and when it has boiled, we'll take the lid off. So as you can see how much the veal stock's reduced there with the line before. That's been on for over 35 minutes now, reducing. And as you can see, it's reduced down to a nice thick syrup. What I'm going to do now is take my red wine reduction, and I'm going to pour it through a sieve into the veal stock reduction. What I want to do is just press this through to make sure I get all the red wine reduction from it. Get all the goodness out of that mirepoix. The mirepoix is just shallots, carrots, a little bit of garlic, shock horror, and celery. So I've pressed all the goodness out of it. And then, quite simply, we just leave that reducing. Right, I am going to cut 4 steaks, I hope, from this beautiful piece of meat. And let's see how we get on. This is a lovely piece of rib. Oh, that's mine. And now you can see how much the red wine reduction has reduced. And what I'm going to do now is something that the French call Monty au beurre, or in Yorkshire, throw some butter in it. So just put some butter in there, turn the heat down so it's not boiling vigorously, and you just gently whisk that butter into it. And you see the way it changes now, it's a nice glossy texture to it. And that is our red wine sauce finished. As you can see now, it's going over these lovely steaks with some sautéed mushrooms and mashed potatoes. We got some nice cabbage steaming as well. So everything's ready for dinner. And that's it. There's our steaks with some mash and cabbage and sautéed mushrooms. And what we're going to do now is just gently put this red wine reduction on the top. And a little over the mashed potatoes to make it look ugly. Oh, my mouth's watering, this is not real. And that's it, ladles and jelly spoons. That is your red wine reduction, which goes perfectly with steak and mash and a bit of cabbage. Thank you for watching this particular episode of Amy Reed's Home Cooking. Bye bye now.